Vishwa Foundation, an organization dedicated to bringing positive change to society every single day. In just 1,176 days, since its inception in May 2021, Vishwa Foundation has grown into a beacon of hope and change. Vishwa Talks is an online platform inspiring people to participate in social change by hosting experts who share insights on diverse topics every Saturday.
Namaste. Vishwa is an organization which works towards building the grassroots levels of India. The first step we take towards that is to build an awareness. We work in different causes from education, health, art and culture to 12 other causes. On every Saturday at 11 a.m., we have a talk on these various topics. For example, when it comes to health, India has a rich source of Ayurvedic treatments, alternative medicines like Ayurveda, homeopathy, Siddha, naturopathy. At a time when India is leading in diabetes, heart attacks, cancer, we have preventive medication which can be used. So a lot of talks have come out where people can use household items to prevent some of these or to control some of them. Our grandmothers were a rich source of information. Our parents knew a little lesser than that, and we know a lot lesser than that. And perhaps our children may never get that heritage. Here at Vishwa, we have people who tell us how to use the household items like curry leaves or neem or lemongrass for what ailments, etc. Similarly, we have talks on art and culture. We would like to have our Indians to be united, be one, be proud of their culture, their heritage. We have a lot of talks where people from various walks of life have come forward and spoken about various buildings, various dance forms, etc. These are two examples I have given. We cover 12 causes like this in our Vishwa Talks. As a first step, we want to bring in awareness among the coming generation. Our audience is across the country and sometimes abroad too. We have a rich interactive session after the talk is given by the expert. It's for any person who watches these talks to decide what they want to believe in, what they don't want to believe in, and if they have any clarifications, they're free to ask questions. After this, we want to build the skills of the people of India. Today, India is on the cusp of moving into one of the top countries of the world. But unfortunately, the skills of our people do not match our aspirations. Here at Vishwa, we started out in a small way. We started with computer training. Fortunately for us, Rotary and some people have donated computers to us. We teach 10th class students, inter students and degree students so that when they go for jobs, they don't get rejected. We teach the basics like Excel, Doc, ChatGPT, how to market. The basics we teach, because most of them cannot afford computers and they have no access to them. And similarly, we have something called celebrations. Celebrations is celebrating your loved ones on their anniversaries, on their birthdays, on their death anniversaries. You could contribute to any of the causes that Vishwa showcases on its platform, vishwa.org. You could, Annadanam for instance. There are a lot of people across the country who, when they go to hospitals, they come up from far-off regions and the little money they have, they keep it aside for the treatment of the patient. They sleep on platforms, they hardly eat anything. And we give them food every afternoon on Fridays, and it makes a lot of difference. There are similar such fundraisers. Please feel free to celebrate your loved ones with any of these causes.
Vishwa's commitment towards zero waste and a long way to go in achieving the goal begins with our material donation drive. Conducted twice a year during Diwali and Ugadi in Hyderabad, this drive collects clothes, books, toys and other used or semi-used items for the underprivileged. Contributions from over 615 plus families have benefited around 2,800 individuals, providing essential items and support, bringing hope and dignity to them. Through these efforts, we transform the waste of some into the treasure of others, promoting sustainability and community welfare.
Namaskaram. A very good morning and welcome to Vishwa Talks. My name is Trishant and I thank you all for attending today's event on Zoom. and to those watching on YouTube Live. For those of you who have attended a Vishwa Talk before, a warm welcome back. And for our new joinees, here's a little bit about us. Vishwa Talks is here to create awareness amongst people and to protect our social heritage and to let people make their own decisions. Here we invite experts to discuss and explore diverse opinions, different perspectives, various issues, problems, and their solutions on various fields, including art and culture, healthcare, environment, education, and many more. So far, we have covered over 150 talks. Each webinar is an interactive session with a deeper understanding of the topic at hand. If you miss any part of the session, or if you would like to go through the previous sessions, please visit our website or Vishwa Talks YouTube channel for a full library of past Vishwa Talks on interesting topics. It is with great pleasure and admiration that we welcome our esteemed speaker, Dr. Drashti Shah, a highly accomplished and passionate physiotherapist whose journey spans across the USA, Canada, and India. With an unwavering commitment to understanding the human body not just as a physical entity, but as an intricate blend of structure, movement, energy, and emotion, Dr. Shah has redefined the scope of physiotherapy and rehabilitation. A proud alumnus of the renowned Maharaja Sayaji Rao University, Dr. Shah began her journey with a scientific curiosity and a deep-rooted passion nurtured by growing up in a family of healthcare professionals. Her early career included working with stalwarts like Dr. Merchant and the Yogini Devi Trust Hospital, where she gained valuable clinical insights. Her international experience in rehabilitation hospitals in North America shaped her holistic approach to healing, especially in dealing with chronic trauma-related and neuromuscular conditions. In 2009, she returned to India and established Physio to Fitness in Vadodara, a pioneering integrated bodywork center. Under her leadership, the center became a trailblazer, introducing innovations such as Pilates, altitude training, rolfing, vagus nerve reset, yin yoga, and IASTM in Gujarat for the very first time. What sets Dr. Shah apart is her deep reverence for hands-on techniques, treating them as a form of non-verbal communication and energy exchange between therapist and patient. With over 3 lakh patients served, including sports and defense personnel, Dr. Shah continues to blend clinical excellence with empathetic care, helping individuals not only recover but thrive. She is also certified in naturopathy, yoga, and food and nutrition, with research interests spanning osteoporosis in women, geriatric fall risk, metabolic syndromes, and child nutrition. Notably, she had the honor of working alongside legendary P.T. Usha in selecting young talent for Junior Olympics. Dr. Shah is not just a clinician, but a thought leader who believes in raising the bar for the entire healthcare community by inspiring collaboration and excellence. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Drashti Shah to today's session. We are truly honored to have you with us, and we look forward to gaining insights from your immense wisdom and experience. As we dive into today's interesting discussion, I would like to inform the audience that our speaker will be taking questions from you after the main talk. So please leave your questions in the chat box or use the raise hand tool, and we will allow you to ask your questions in person. I request everyone to turn on your webcam for interactive part of the webinar. Request you to keep your questions concise and short. Please limit the interaction part to questions, and you can share your experiences, opinion, and perspectives in the chat box. So without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Drashti Shah as she shares her inspiring journey and valuable insights into Protein 101, busting myths about proteins. Hello. Hi, ma'am.
Namaste, everybody. I'm Dr. Drashti Shah, and thank you, Vishwa Talks, and everybody who joined. And protein is such a controversial topic because I'm working since so many years, since last 30 years, and my college days, university days also, so more than that. And we never had protein talks. Since the last decade and since last 5 years, I've seen people talking only about protein low carb diet, high protein diet, keto diet, paleo diet, and carnivore diet, and has it helped our society? I've always keep on checking everything what people are eating, how the community is changing, how culturally different people and how the culture has made a difference on their physical health and mental health. So I kept on checking on high protein eating people religiously or culturally. And when we see these people, they do not have good quality of muscles. They have a lot of fat collection in their body. When I see their immune system, it has gone down. Right, when I see the health and the gene disease in people, and we have seen that lot of changes where chronic disease have set into these people, and it has traveled down to the society. And I feel protein since the last century has been there, and since last so World War, protein has a history, major history from World War II. And since the emerging medical history system, since last century, it has changed. The medical system and the healthcare system has changed. And I've seen that the diseases have emerged, misconception of health has changed. And whatever was old in whichever country, our ancient practices have been more healing practices. And this is what I believe in. So that is why when Vishwa Talk asked me, I joined this. So can we start the slide, please? Thank you.
Yes, sure. Rakesh, could you please share the slides?
So over the period of time, we can change the thing. So we can over the period of time, we have seen that people have reduced eating carbs. They have reduced eating salts. And whenever we talk about salt, and everybody is like, you are eating too spicy or salty. We have seen people damming cholesterol, which is one of the important thing in the body for all the cells to function and the immunity to be built, and all the hormones. And we have damned cholesterol also. So except protein, the major macronutrient, everything, a lot of things in our body has been, whatever we are eating has been damned. Next slide, please. So protein is a major macronutrient beyond fats and water also, and carbs. And protein is not damned. It has been more commercialized. It has been isolated, and we all are eating mostly isolated proteins. And when I see keto eating people, I had so many athletes and so many people who wanted to lose weight, and they went into keto and paleo diet. And my way of diet is one-on-one, and I see whether what is happening in their blood, I see what is happening in their mind, and I see what is happening, it has happened in their family also. And that's how I then write a diet or go through everything. Whereas when people eat keto diet, I saw piles, all acidic related issues, because not everybody had good HCl to break down these proteins. So hyperacidity, valve disorders, varicose veins, immune disorders, gut issues, psoriasis, that was increasing in all these people. We have so many people, youngsters having lipomas, the nodules on the skin, and all of these people were having high intake of protein, which was through isolated proteins. So not damning this major macronutrient, but yes, you cannot isolate protein. So let's talk about what is protein made up of. Next slide, please. So why is protein needed in the body? So protein, when it is broken down, it turns into peptides and then turns into amino acids. So protein makes the whole body. Every structure in the body is made up of protein. Your collagen, your ligaments, your bones, your muscles, everything, your fascia, everything is made up of protein. All the enzymes, all the hormones need protein. So all these chemical reactions on daily basis needs protein, and the immune system activity needs protein, which is by cytokines. So yes, protein is a very important nutrient in the body, but which kind of protein? Next slide, please. And is protein a good source of energy? So over the period of time when everybody was eating a lot of protein, after World War II, people saw that the athletes who were eating high protein, the sports person, the marathoners who were eating high protein on the day before their games, they did not have good fuel. They had high risk of injury because protein is not a good fuel. Protein is a reserve and it is used for repair and growth. So when we do not eat carbs and only eat proteins, it is still going to be broken down and used as energy. So it is not going to be building your muscles and bones and your fascia. So with the emerge of disease, so over the period of time when we see if the diseases are emerging and we are becoming more aware of what we are eating, then why is the healthcare system changing? Why are we needing so many hospitals? Why are we needing so many isolated practices of the doctors? Because when we are as a whole, we are a physical and a mental and emotional body, then all these things mingle and then we make our body. I've seen a lot of issues in sports people who have emotional issues and they are repeatedly getting injured, even though they have the best of muscles, the diet is balanced and all. That was related to the HCl production and vagus nerve problems, and that's why the collagen in the liver was not working properly and they had a lot of injuries. So it is not that what you eat and it is directly going to go into muscle and directly going to go and make hormones. It's about how over the whole body, how we as a system, ecosystem, we evolve as a person. So next slide, please. So coming back to the history of increased protein diet, initially before World War II, we had around 5 to 50 acres of land which was agriculture, and we were eating mostly agriculture based food which was all vegetation and all for human consumption and not cattle consumption. Now after World War II, only 2 to 10 acre of only developing countries, 70% of the food comes from these developing countries. Most of the farms are used for soya, wheat, corn, for all the kettles, and these kettles then they are butchered and then people are bringing protein from these food. So most of the people feel that red meat is the best source of protein. Yes, under microscope it can be. As soon as it goes in the body, so many reactions happens and you don't know whether from that beef or chicken or pork or fish what is happening in your particular body. So when we are eating, we have to be mindful of what we are eating, what is the food combination we are eating. So what happened in World War II, coming back to the history, is these troops during World War II from America, most of the troops were eating chicken and they were sent chicken. After seeing their health, USDA promoted chicken as a main source of protein, which was only eaten over the Sunday dinners. Over the period of time when chicken became more expensive and eggs production was also needed, hams and porks and all came onto the table, which were more processed meats. Over the period of time, the emergence of gut disease like Crohn's disease and all, these type of diseases increased and cancer also increased. So protein, when it is taken as a isolated source of nutrition and increased source of nutrition, as in if you are a 100 kilo person, you are going to eat 120 grams of protein. It's not going to break down into the amino acids. It can be released as cytokines break down and it will cause inflammation in the body. So we feel that these meat products and dairy products are the full source of amino acids, but actually when it has been researched that 3 to 5 amino acids only we can get from these animal products. Oh, we need around 20 amino acids throughout the day. So how are we going to have these amino acids? Mushrooms are also one of the best source of proteins. So when we are eating mushrooms with these non-veg products with lots of veggies and a little bit of quinoa or pulses, then we get full profile of amino acids. Can we change the slide, please? Thank you. So why are amino acids important? So as carbs are so carbohydrates is broken down into C, H, and O. Like your potato is broken down into a pure form of glucose, which is used for ATP production in each and every cell. Same way, protein is broken down into amino acids. Next slide, please. So three basic sources of protein: vegetarian sources, non-vegetarian sources, dairy products. Vegetarian sources, people, when they see that, when we talk about broccoli as a source of protein, we don't believe, but lot of plant products have more protein than the non-vegetarian products. So when we mix these three products, little bit of paneer, little bit of, if you are a non-vegetarian, if you add a little bit of non-veg, and if you're eating with vegetables, then you get a full profile of amino acids. Next slide, please. So coming back to amino acids. So when, as I'm speaking sentences and paragraphs, these paragraphs can be broken down into one single sentence, which can broken down into word, and which can broken down into alphabets. Amino acids are these alphabets. 3-4 alphabets come together and form a word. Sometimes 10 alphabets come together and form a word. These words form a sentence, which is your peptides. These peptides, when they come together, they form protein. And initially it was known that 10 to 20,000, we only have 10 to 20,000 of protein in our body. Now it has been researched that we have 400,000 different types of protein. It's like an array of all the amino acids dancing and mixing with our microbes, mixing with a lot of other enzymes, and then broken down into these amino acids, and that's how our body is made. Next slide, please. So coming back to amino acids, there are two basic amino acids. Non-essential amino acids are in our body. We don't have to source it from outside, and essential amino acids are essential to be used, to be consumed. So animal products, as I said, has 3 to 5, maximum 7 amino acids. Our body needs a whole lot to make all these 400,000 amino acids. So one research I'm sharing with you. There was a research in 18-year-old kids, and this was a meta-analysis, and they were only given carnivore diet. And when they checked, and they had this endoscope, and they checked all through the camera, they checked how it was broken down. It took 14 hours to break down all these proteins and break down into amino acids. And the health of these kids, out of that, 50% of the kids were becoming sicker. After 3 months, when everything was cleansed, when they were given only protein diet from vegetarian sources, it took only 90 minutes to break down this food. So when you are eating only vegetarian, only non-vegetarian protein sources, it takes 14 hours to break down. Sometimes the cytokines are released, which are inflammatory proteins. So to break down inflammation and reduce inflammation, to reduce gut diseases, you need to mix different types of amino acids, different protein sources. I am quite against the boxed version of proteins, which are whey protein and isolated soya protein and all, because it has played havoc in the humans, creating lipomas to Hashimoto, to gut disease, psoriasis, eczema, and sometimes cancer, severe bowel diseases. So please change the slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So as I said, we are made up of protein. Our weight is 20% of protein. Protein is essential. I would say more, this is the research saying. I feel if we are talking about bones and fascia and muscles, we may be more than 50% protein. It serves as a regulatory control, and it controls the enzymes and transport proteins. Protein is essential to build. For repair and growth, protein is essential. So for children until 18, for geriatric patients, and for sports people, I would count as 2.2 to 2.5 grams per your body weight. For people who are stable and do not have a very active lifestyle, maybe 0.5 to 1 gram of protein to break down into amino acids. So whenever your body is in stress and you're not eating high carb diet or healthy carb diet, I would say, then your body breaks down these protein in the time of scarcity, in the time of famine in your body. Next slide, please. So coming back to how we are digesting protein. So when we start talking about digestive system, we feel that the mouth is the starting of the digestive system. Actually, all these sinuses are the start of the digestive system. There's a lot of nitric acid in these sinuses. There are a lot of microbes in the sinuses. People having a lot of issues with gut issues, with respiratory issues, they have trouble breaking down the protein even if they are eating high amount of protein. So when we talk about microbes in the sinuses, if you are doing pranayama, if you are doing cleansing of your nasal system and these microbes, then we get full breaking down into from this protein to amino acids. So microbes in this area, as soon as the food mixes with the saliva, the microbes also mix with the saliva. It is broken down by all the enzymes in the saliva. As soon as it goes in the stomach's acid is 1 to 3, sometimes more. As soon as it goes to 3 to 3.5 pH HCl, you are not able to break down any source of protein. Any part of protein is not broken down. So whenever our doctor gives antacid, you make sure you know that you are not going to break down protein. You will have more issues with the putrefaction and fermentation of all the food you're eating. Once the body, an effective body, breaks down all these proteins, breaks down all the carbs and fats what you've eaten, it goes into the first part of the small intestine, which is known as duodenum, where all the bile juices, pancreas, and all the hormones are added with the food. The pH of the food changes from 3 to 8.5. So it is now allowed to go into small intestine, preventing the ulcer in your body. As soon as it goes into small intestine, it is broken down by all these enzymes and the microbes, and then you are able to absorb it into the bloodstream. And that's how all these proteins are then broken down, activated by liver. Lot of vitamins are activated by liver, and then we can use these proteins. Large intestine is used mostly for throwing out all the garbage from the body and absorbing the water. So if you are eating high fiber diet, but you're not eating enough amount, drinking enough amount of water, then the bolus in the body will stay, all the microbes will increase, and then you have got this disease, and all this backflow of the feces will happen. This causes putrefaction of proteins, and again causes any disease like gut disease, Crohn's disease, even mental disorders, serotonin and dopamine irregularity in the body. Next slide, please. So coming back to how I balance or how I suggest in balancing meal from morning till evening. Whenever we want more, so if you come across so many people and you see our past history and you see today's generation and you see the athletes who are eating high protein, or you see bodybuilder, when we ask them to perform certain things like get up from the floor or you run around in this run on the stairs, they are not able to use these muscles. They are not able to break down all these things, and they are not able to use these large molecules of protein into making collagen or making any bodybuilding healing properties is not there of these protein. So from morning, when I count how to maximally use the protein and amino acids from your system, major eating of good quality of carbs is needed to absorb and break down protein. All meals should have protein from morning, afternoon, and evening. All meals should have lot of amount of fibers and fats, essential fats. Next slide, please. So when we are talking about how I make my wholesome protein meal is, if I'm talking about morning breakfast, 2 citrus fruits. Citrus fruits are needed to activate the collagen synthesis in the body. which is a very big structural protein in all the fascia and ligaments, tendons, and cartilages. So, any two citrus fruits, chia seeds, have protein powder, or if you are talking about whey protein powder, then I would suggest an A2 quality whey protein powder, A2 protein from any good quality sources where you can check. Wellbeing Nutrition has good quality whey. There are other, I think, two brothers maybe having A2 quality, or you can make A2 quality protein at your home also by A2 cow milk. So I mix this, I mix chia seed, I mix some nuts and citrus fruits and make a smoothie out of it. I take 20 minutes to eat all of these by maybe spoon or mixing it well with my saliva. After 3-4 hours, once everything is digested and your body is ready to eat next meal, then you start with little bit of ginger, which activates the HCl production in the body, which helps to break down plant protein. Plant protein and protein from the grains are difficult to break down for sure, but when you mix it with ACV or ginger or ajwain, it's easy to break down plant protein. So I would not suggest having eating a lot of raw food, because our body, if in today's world, because of the EMF frequency and environmental toxins, we are not able to break down a lot of raw food. So maybe lightly steamed or lightly sauteed food along with a protein source, along with little bit of complex carbs or good quality carbs as in sweet potato or beet or squash, that breaks down. When it goes in the body is able to, the microbes are really happy with all the array of food, and everything is broken down and full profile amino acids is there. If you feel that the food is not enough, you are not having 20 grams of protein or 10 grams of protein in that meal, you can add pulses or in a different variety of way. Coming back to evening, if you have if you're eating grains or if you're eating pulses, make sure you are soaking them for 3 to 4 hours. Again, whatever vegetables you have eaten in the morning, you change the vegetables in the evening. If you are fond of mushrooms, you add mushrooms. If you are vegetarian, you can add eggs. And you can end the day with A2 cow milk with little bit of ashwagandha and shatavari, and that will be your whole protein source throughout the day. So Trishant, the mic is to you.
Thank you so much for the talk, ma'am. That was super insightful. Before we move on to the Q&A, I'd like to just take 30 seconds of your time for a quick poll. This will help us get to know you better and tailor future topics that we bring to you. A big thanks to everyone here today. Your presence and participation means a lot, and it makes this webinar a success. While you fill out the poll, I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Drashti Shah, for sharing her valuable time and insights with us. I'd like to call upon Shrivani ma'am to initiate the Q&A session post this. Oh, just a moment. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Namaste.
Namaste.
Dr. Drashti Shah, thank you so much.
Welcome.
At a time when urbanization is taking place, where people are moving at a very fast pace from villages to cities, the age-old ways of getting a balanced diet is disappearing.
Yes.
And as women have started going to work, we see the diet in the homes has really deteriorated. A nutritious diet has deteriorated. And now with the next generation coming with the Swiggies and the instant food that they can order, and also the market selling a lot of packed foods. suddenly giving a fresh look on our diet has become a necessity. And thank you so much once again for people like you, Dr. Shah. We are able to share the need of the hour with everybody. Thank you to all the participants. Thank you to
Pleasure.
yeah. I'd like to say a little bit about Vishwa before we go into the Q&A session. Vishwa is an online platform, a crowdfunding and a crowdsourcing platform. We support change makers in making their dreams a reality for themselves, for others, and in the process to make our world a better place. Vishwa has also started something called Zero Waste 2027. And it's a Herculean task. We've declared it in Hyderabad. And it hasn't been easy. The journey hasn't been easy. And we've started some workshops, very successful workshops we've done, where we've brought in most of the people who are interested in making Hyderabad into a zero waste together. Each one has shared their views and what they're doing, their pathways, their breakdowns, their barriers. And slowly we are building in a kind of a group together to push this cause forward. Today, 6,000 tons of waste is going daily into the landfills. Almost 80% of the waste in Hyderabad is going into landfills. We are heading towards a huge crisis. This needs to be rectified. Today, you go to any village in Andhra or Telangana, the one that meets us is the river. The canals are filled with plastics, as you see in the picture. Roadsides are filled with this. We want to address this. We also do Annadhanam every Friday. We donate food to around 100 people in various places, whether it is hospitals, whether it is homes for TB patients or cancer patients. Because what happens is people come from far and they don't have their family there. The main person is taking treatment. The attendant is not eating food to cut costs, save costs on meeting the medical expenses. So once again, there's no nutritious diet. So Vishwa provides this. We also do something called a material donation diet twice a year. And this time we've done for the Telugu New Year Ugadi in Hyderabad. And around 300-400 people donate their old material. When I say 300-400 people, sometimes one is an entire building with around 200 people donating their material. The Vishwa team voluntarily goes, collects it, and then redistributes it in slums. There are around 500 slums in and around Hyderabad. We're able to meet the needs of around 2 or 3 slums. So feel free to support Vishwa, in letting your friends and family know. Like this lady in the blue shirt, every year for the past 4 years, she's been collecting material from the entire community and has been donating. Similarly, we request people from across Hyderabad, if you come from a commercial office, an IT space, or a housing community, or a particular area, please collect stuff from all your neighbors, friends, and family in that particular area, and we will come and pick it up in a little truck, and we go ahead and distribute it. We want volunteers. We request volunteers who can do that, because one of the biggest landfills is clothes. Then I'll lastly talk about the upcoming talks. Mr. Jaideep Chowdhury is designated Senior Business Development Manager, LIC. Significance of insurance, a practical necessity. It's on 12th April, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We next have our next talk, Apramita Deshpande, Raising Emotionally Intelligent Kids with Stories, the Role of Language and Communication. She's a speech therapist. She's the founder of Cobalt. 19th April 2025, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Vishwa, with its limited resources, we are able to reach a few number of people. But if you know people who are interested in similar talks, in your friends and families, please share it with all the groups you know. about these talks. Thank you so much. With this, Shmuel, would you like to answer your question?
You hear me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Very interesting lecture. I very liked this lecture. And my question is how, according to your opinion, protein can support resolution problems of food insecurity?
How?
How, according to you,
How protein can support resolution problems of insecurity, of food insecurity?
Food insecurity.
Yeah.
Food scarcity, you mean?
Yes. Food security for the entire country.
And how it is linked to the protein, you are saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So malnourishment, when Trishan asked me about speaking about protein, and I am not believer of any isolated food, because when we are a whole microorganism ourselves and the whole ecosystem is there in the body, same way our soil is also having its own intelligence, and it has a lot of microbes due to new varieties ways of harvesting and variety of modern technology which has entered into agriculture. I feel more scarcity of food is there compared to what it was before, because there are only, as I said, 70% of developing nations are giving food, and that too compared to 50 acres of farms, it has turned into 10 acres of farms, 10 acres of agricultural land which is supporting the whole world. Most of the farmland is used for kettles, for feeding them, and it has caused more CO2 production on the whole earth compared to what we feel. If everybody turns into vegetarian, then what will happen to people, and what will happen? Is it going to feed enough people? But it is going to feed enough people, because as soon as you eat more of plant-based food, mixed of course with lot of other high protein sources, it gives more satisfaction. Body will break down into things and it will mix its own molecule. Even from the potato you will get protein. So when we are talking about scarcity, if people do mix vegetarian sources along with non-vegetarian sources, food scarcity can reduce. Second thing is, now cattle, as the cows are raised right away, their babies are without making them older, because as soon as these hormone fed and hormone injected babies are grown, they now have turned into cancerous and lot of other diseases. So before they have disease, they are butchered. So overall I feel animal consumption has caused lot of gut issues and lot of microbes related disease in the world. I feel vegetarian is the way to go.
So, Shmuel, what I would like to add to this is, previously in India, people lived in villages. And in villages in India, we had loads of trees. The star fruits, I'm unable to say the names at the tip of my mouth. Reg, in Telugu words, I can tell you, Reg Kailo, or Trishant, can you name some fruits that we get? The gooseberries,
gooseberries, yeah.
The
Star fruits are very
papayas, and the jackfruits, and the sapotas, and the muskmelons. These were available in your backyard. Mangoes, people just went, plucked them, and had all those fruits. Today, because of migration, people have lost access to nutrition. Previously, in the villages, every household had a cow.
Yeah.
Milk was available abundantly. Today, milk is not available about, and even the milk which is available is fully induced with hormones. So there is a actually a food and pandemic that's coming. There's a lack of nutrition that's India today is not lacking food. It's lacking nutrition. So there is no food insecurity in India. There's a nutrition insecurity in India. And there is a need for the government and for the people to recognize the importance of understanding today the issue is not about lack of food, the issue is about lack of nutrition. There has to be a change in outlook. When I'm in a city and we had a meeting, and in the meeting we're giving popo bints, and people think it's great. But if you give reg kai, which is a kind of fruit you get in the villages, people look down upon it. What they don't understand is it is these things which probably give all those amino acids and all the nutrition that the body requires, the vitamins and minerals. And it's fast disappearing. So there is a need in India for a re-education on food. So I hope this answers your question that there is no food insecurity. There is an insecurity of nutrition. Does that answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I understand that government of India encouraging healthy food, food with protein.
Also, one more thing that is happening is India has a very rich heritage, whether it is teaching yoga. Unfortunately, due to it is being communalized. Today's we are not taught yoga, we're not taught Ayurveda in your school. Previously, if I had a cold, I would take Tulsi. This education, the basic education, is being wiped out of our schools. So I don't think the present government is doing enough to bring back these systems into the education system. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One second.
There are a few questions in the chat box.
Can you suggest for senior citizens for breakfast, from breakfast to dinner?
You suggest a diet for
A
senior
diet.
citizens?
Yes. Senior citizen, you're counting after 60. I have people from 60 to 75 who are working out. So I do give them a quite nourishing diet. And nutritionally, proper diet is different than nourishing diet, because nourishing diet gives more satisfaction rather than just counting calories and counting how much protein you have eaten. And as I said, everybody what their family is going through, that's how their body is going to break down or make. So in general, if I talk about diet, they do need protein. They lack ground substance, this is the ground substance, which is the extracellular matrix. They start losing down on lymphatics and the cells. So more nourishing diet is, I would add A2 cow milk products. If the person is eating non-vegetarian sources, then bone broths are amazing for keeping the body together. Any protein which takes more time to soak and any protein which takes more time to cook and break down in the body is not suggested to geriatric patients or senior citizen. Grains which take more time to cook and process, for example, even wheat, which is made from now GMO food, it is broken down and then we harvest it, broken down into flour, make dough, and then make roti. I would not suggest that kind of carbs. I would rather suggest carbs like beet, sweet potato, squash to add into their food. So if I start from morning, I would add extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon, or maybe A2 cow ghee. And I would have nuts in the middle of the day, because as soon as liver gets awake, liver gets activated with the first ray of sunlight, and it starts first detoxing our body so that it is ready to then take whatever we are eating. So most of us Indians have a habit of eating nuts in the morning. I would rather soak nuts overnight and drain all the liquid, and because that is phytic acid, and add into the smoothie, or I will add nuts in the later stage of the day in the smoothie. Smoothie, why I am interested in smoothie and juices? Because it is easily absorbed through the small intestine. It stays less in the intestine, so when it is passing, because the digestive power of geriatric patients has slowed down, then it is easy for them to take it into the bloodstream, and it is easy for the bile juices and the enzymes to break down. So two sources of citrus fruits or two sources of sweet fruits. So banana cannot mix with pineapples or oranges. That is viruddhahar. Also, it needs, if you talk about scientific term, then they need different enzymes to be broken down. So it's not, it will take more time. I would not add any vegetable except green leafy with any of the fruits, because vegetable protein take more time to digest. It needs different types of enzymes and juices. So if you are making a smoothie in the morning, then chia seed, A2 cow ghee if you have taken, or you can add it to the smoothie, or extra virgin olive oil, two fruits of the same nature, and coconut water or coconut milk, and make it into the smoothie. After, in the middle of the day, I would add nuts, because that will be omega-3 after your breakfast. So maybe 2 to 3 walnuts, or a handful of nuts. Any nut you are taking 6 to 8 hours of soaking, except walnut and except pistachio. So I would have handful of nuts. I would not call peanut as a nut, because peanut comes in legume family. You can add for calorie and maybe essential fats, but peanut has a lot of mold also in it. So handful of nuts with 2 dates or 2 soaked figs. That will be the middle of the day. Then the lunch, I would have sweet potato, maybe half of a sweet potato, or any yam, or a potato sabji. That will be our carbs. Protein in the form of dal and rice. That will be a full amino acid profile like khichdi sometimes, or dal and rice of different quality. Not adding rajma in this family, in this food, because rajma takes a lot of time to soak and then cook. It's a very it has putrefaction, and it is very inflammatory. I would have mixed flours of roti. I would not add wheat in that. Mostly amaranth flour, singhara, and moria. So mostly our old style millets. And from North India to South India, a lot of people eat different millets. So sorghum, some people don't eat sorghum, some people don't eat amaranth. So whatever, wherever you are, see what kind of millets are there, and make flour and roti, or maybe soak it and then boil it and add vegetables in that. I would have only steamed or cooked vegetables, except for cucumber. It is 95% of water, so you don't want to kill it. And that will be a full plate in lunch. If you have digestive issues, you chew on black salt and ajwain to activate the enzymes in the stomach and increase HCl production. We don't want reduction of HCl production. This good HCl in our stomach kills the microbes we have from food, which is unhealthy microbes sometimes. It also activates the amino acids breakdown of all these proteins. So you want to steam or cook or semi-cook your food. I feel it is same for me and you both. You can increase the carb intake in the form of any juices for geriatric patient, because they start losing weight. Even the worst diabetic patient and people having cholesterol and fat also start losing more of bone weight and muscle weight. So if they are high on carbs and high on medium good quality protein, they will hold on to the weight and also build weights, build their healthy body weight. Mid afternoon, I would add moringa, maybe 2 to 3 drumsticks. Since long time, I've been writing 3 drumstick per person. If they have arthritis or any joint related issues or muscle related issues, it has worked wonders. I have not done any research, but just my personal experience. So moringa juice along with any green leafy, which is blanched in salt water, that will give you good quality collagen also, I think. I can add chia seed in that, and maybe again two dates, because older people start losing hemoglobin also, iron content. Iron is a type of protein. Evening, I would add more of khichdi, and what we lack is, I've seen in my parents also, people start eating more dry food like khakra or mamra or poha, and they feel that they are not hungry, so we are not going to make sabji. But you make sabji and have 2 to 3 different vegetables and eat less of carbs, which is grain carbs, then you will be more satisfied. Your gut is more nourished and more hydrated rather than eating dry food, which does not have a satisfactory index. So people feel that they are not eating at the end of the day, but they are eating dry food, which is more calorically, which is more bad, and it takes more time to break down, and it is poor nourishment and poor nutrition. So maybe 6 vegetable to 5 different vegetables in a day, 30 different vegetables in a week. If you count protein, then maybe 40 to 60 grams for a 70 kg person. And nuts and seeds for all the joint health and immune system, and lot of supplementation, because now soil has been having lot of erosion. There is minimal crop rotation, so I will add protein powder to my senior citizen, even my family, I'm doing that. And I'm adding more of magnesium, because magnesium is one nutrient, one mineral we are lacking very badly. We have so many people with restless leg syndrome in geriatric population. And one other macronutrient I would add is exercise. It is a macronutrient. You will be able to digest all of these only if you exercise and move better. Does it answer your question?
That was huge.
Sorry.
So you said for a 70 kg person, it should be 30 to 50 grams of protein?
Yeah, because they are not able to break down. For an athlete, I would be multiplying it 2.2.
Okay. So when you say protein, in what kind of proteins would you suggest?
So if I'm talking about grain protein, then quinoa, amaranth, some millets do have good amount of protein. If you're talking about vegetables, all the vegetables have protein. Some has more carbs, but they all do have protein. And your body is such a smart thing that even if you don't count your protein, it is going to mix something into its own our body and use it for repair whenever the repair is needed. But if you're only counting protein, then I would add collagen. What I'm doing at my place, that's what I'm saying, I add collagen. If there are people who are vegan or vegetarian, then vegan collagen sources are there, but they may not be as good as grass-fed pasture raised cow quality of protein. So collagen is one. Second is protein powder. There are very good quality vegan protein powder in Indian market, and they are doing really good with ethically sourcing, and they are doing organic sourcing, because they know that if we are picking up good food, then we will be very picky in picking up food. I don't know whether can I name the companies. Some companies.
Can you name them, please? Can you name them, please?
So Cosmix is very good brand. I have been drinking Cosmix protein powder since maybe 6-7 years. I am aware of one is, as it is nutrition, it is isolated single ingredient protein. So if you eat that, only that, then that's still not going to be helping your body, because you have to add that with your food. It is a part of your food. You can't have just protein shake and feel that okay, after workout or after I'm not skipping a meal and just having a protein shake. You will have to add with all the things which I said. So Cosmix Wellbeing Nutrition has A2 cow milk protein. as it is a very good brand. It's single ingredient isolated protein. So these three I recommend. Ensure and Oziva and Kapiva, I think. When you check even their Diasure kind of protein, which the doctors write, it's high in maltodextrin and many other names of sugar which are hidden. It has a lot of stabilizers, it has a lot of preservatives, and it has a lot of fillers, which gives bulk. So maybe if you're taking, it will make you look bulky and you will be able to lift more weights, or you will feel that I have put on weight, but you mostly have put on fats. So these two, three, I feel read the ingredients. We are such smart, logical being that when we read ingredients, we don't have to learn to read ingredients. We know what's going on here, and we all Google. So when you know a word which you don't understand, you can check it and not have those kind of protein.
Okay. Spirulina, what do you think about?
Spirulina is 99% bioavailable in our cells. It's an amazing type of protein. Spirulina along with chlorella is amazing. I have spirulina every day.
Along with
Chlorella.
chlorella. And how do we buy this?
Oro will had a beautiful quality of spirulina, and it has in capsule form also. There are other kind of spirulina which I get it from outside, from like Blue Klamath Lake has very good quality of spirulina. So as I said, I have also, even though I know I'm speaking here, I still read ingredient. I first, before putting into the mouth, I check where it is sourced from, what is the background of these people, and then only I buy. But in India, Auroville has very good quality.
So
It's called, if I can, Orospirul is the brand from Auroville. It's basically harvested at this place called Vindara Farms, and they do a really good job making spirulina over there. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
no, that's great, Trishant. Please share the address on the link if you can online. So, ma'am, this, if you take the spirulina capsules, how much quantity would you advise to take?
Mostly, it's written on Auroville capsule is 6 capsules to 10 capsules. But for my clients, I ask them to start with 3 or 2 times in a day separately. See what is happening in the body. After a while, your body gets adjusted. Your cells know how to break it down, and then you add to the full potential. So different makers have different, they have these small, not even teaspoon, it's like 1 gram to 2 gram of spoon inside it, where you can add it into your smoothie.
So if you have the spirulina, the tablets, you take it with water, that's it, or you need to add it? Okay.
No, I just take it in 3 tablets in the morning, 3 tablets in the snack time in the evening. Okay. And I have coconut water with in the evening, and I would have smoothie in the morning.
Okay. And if you're having spirulina, do we also need to have the protein powder?
Yes, we do need to. We can reduce the quantity of protein powder. So if I am adding maybe 1 big scoop of, if according to the makers, it is 1 scoop of collagen, and if I'm having Cosmix, which is again they are saying have 1 scoop, and 2-3 days I take and I feel constipated or bloated, I know I have overdone it, then I would reduce it. So I believe in mindful things. So when I'm asked to speak about one single thing and to generalize population, it's always mindfulness. You can always start with little bit of collagen, little bit of protein powder in a smoothie, and 3-4 hours you wait, how you feel, how you're digesting it. Don't have any new things for 2-3 days, and then increase the amount.
Okay, this question is from Pooja. Can sprouts be considered as a source of protein?
Yeah, they are very good quality protein. They are proteins, yes, of course.
How much?
Cooked sprouts.
Cooked?
Yes, cooked
sprouts. The raw ones?
No, as I said, according to how many EMF frequency we are surrounded with, it has changed our gut lining. It has changed how our enzymes are working. So pre-cook it a bit, like steam it, maybe not completely cook it. Pre-cook it a bit. You may lose some enzymes by cooking it, but you will have benefits of digesting it better and breaking down into amino acids. So 1 cup of sprouts can have 6 to 7 grams of protein. 1 glass of milk or 250 ml can have 6 grams of protein. A2 cow protein is a good quality protein. And 1 big glass of dal can have, depending on the dal, can have 6 to 8 grams of protein. Protein powder, if I take, is 24 grams of protein powder. So as I am, if any women who is going into menopause, they need, if I am 60 kilos, then I definitely need 50 to 60 grams of protein.
Wow.
If I'm not digesting, sometimes I feel, then I reduce it, as I said.
So women of perimenopause of
Yeah.
60 kilos need to take
As many kilos they are. So
and
24, mostly mornings and afternoons, have more. As soon as your body's circadian rhythm is changing and your body is slowing metabolism and is going into sleep mode, have lesser protein in the evening.
okay. So 60 grams if you're 60 kilos.
Yeah.
And you suggest taking it in the mornings for digestive reasons.
Yeah. Maybe 1 scoop of protein powder. Most of the protein powder is 24 to 26 grams per scoop. Mix it with your smoothie. Afternoon, you are having your dals, and sometimes I replace my rotis with besan roti or red lentil masoor dal roti, and a besan chilla or a roti. And I make wraps out of these protein sources. I add pasta if in case you have kids and people want to eat some variety. Then pasta is also now red lentil pasta and quinoa pasta, buckwheat pasta are there, which are good quality protein. So you add with your veggies. If you are an vegetarian, 2 eggs, a cup of quinoa pasta, maybe 2 cups of vegetables. Or if you just like pasta, then have pasta the way you want to. Add veggies in the form of soup. That's the whole protein meal, a nourishing meal, I would say.
2 glasses of milk, 1 bowl of sprouts, 1 bowl of dal, and 125 grams of protein.
Protein.
That's covers the day.
Yeah, I would add collagen for our joint health.
How do you add collagen?
Collagen is also a powder. Some people don't like the smell of collagen, so capsules are there for them. I take Vital Protein collagen. And there are other sources of Inja collagen is good. Marine collagen is also good. So when you take direct this kind of protein, it does work faster for recovery, for joint health, skin health. If your hair is breaking down, if you have breaking down of nails and all, or skin health is deteriorating, you can take collagen also. I would suggest collagen at least 9 months in a year.
9 months in a year.
Yeah. What I do is I ask people to take everything for 9 months. Most of them are water-based minerals, which we lose in sweat and all the work we do. All our functions, cellular functions, need all these ingredients of vitamins and minerals. So you're depending on the stress, physical or emotional stress level, all the vitamins are gone, your B12, magnesium, everything is gone. And these minerals we need in large quantity, because we are going to throw it away in case if we are overdoing it. So supplementing omega-3, I definitely ask people to have. It is a great antioxidant. Collagen, I would ask people to have. Protein powder, maybe 4 times in a week if your body is not digesting well, or maybe every day, depending on what you have. I have it every day. Lots and lots of vegetables, 2 to 3 fruits in a day, finishing by 5 p.m. And minimize grains as you grow older.
Greens, minimize
Grains as you grow older.
Okay. Is curds also good?
Sorry?
Curds,
Curd.
dahi.
Yeah, of course. So dahi, A2 cow dahi is good.
A2.
I would not say masti dahi.
Oh, buffalo curds is not suggested.
Then you mix it with water and have it. So some people are not able to digest protein. So that is why, so if I'm talking to different people and if I'm talking to one particular person who is not able to digest protein, then having a glass of warm water and 1 teaspoon of ACV twice in a day, except dinner, helps to break down the food and helps to break down protein to amino acids, and also not only protein, it helps to break down carbs also. And if not ACV, you don't like the taste of ACV, you have any gum disease, then ginger is amazing. 1 to 2 teaspoon of ginger in warm water, just a little bit before your meals. It also works wonders. And as I said, ajwain works wonders. But you were talking about buffalo milk. I would add hingwa stuck churna or maybe some carminatives like soft in the buttermilk. It helps to break down that kind of protein well.
1 cup of curds has how many grams of?
Around 7, depending on your serving bowl.
Okay. A cup what has 200 grams?
Yeah, so 1 serving bowl.
Okay.
So medium size of serving bowl is how it is counted in the nutritional world.
Okay.
The soup bowl is too big. The small katori is too small.
And the spirulina will have how many grams of protein?
So spirulina is more bioavailable. So depending on what you have. So what is happening in the protein world is meat and dairy, when it is broken down into, then it has to be assimilated in the cell. That process is more difficult than breaking down at times. Whereas plant-based protein and especially spirulina is 99% bioavailable if you get it from good quality. So I am not counting protein in the spirulina. I count, so as I said, different companies have different things. So if I'm taking 6 tablets of Auroville, I feel my body is going to have more amino acids and more repair and more saving of my muscles rather than being used into any day-to-day chores.
Okay. This question is from Vishnu Priya Mandal. Diet for women during perimenopause.
Perimenopause, if you are following Indian system, I've seen that people from certain prakruti, for example, pitta or kapha, most of the women go into vayu prakruti. They start having dryness in their body, dryness in their hair, dryness in the skin. They are, as soon as the first thing is the progesterone. So it is a period cycle is a play between lot of hormones, but majorly it is progesterone and estrogen. First thing which stops is progesterone. As soon as progesterone stops, you will start having erratic cycle. Maybe sometimes there is no cycle. Sometimes because estrogen becomes uninhibited, you will have clots and lots of bleeding for 15 days. It has been, this is the way nature works. After a while, estrogen reduces and then there is nothing. So now all these cells have receptors like antenna in our body. Every cell, ear cell, lung cell, heart cell, everything has antenna. These antennas are used, they use estrogen and progesterone. Now they do not have this major estrogen thing, so now they are confused of how to work. So sometimes menopausal women have gut issues, sometimes all the autoimmune disease which are there in the heredity comes out during menopausal time or perimenopausal time. Sometimes they have vertigo because your ear cells don't know how to work. Sometimes they have bronchitis or asthma during this time because the alveoli doesn't know how to work. After a while, after you have a complete menopause, which is one whole year of no periods, then your body, every woman has testosterone inside. This testosterone is broken down by liver into estrogen, and now the body starts functioning well. So perimenopausal period and the period where the body is adjusted is around 6 to 8 years in some women, depending on their health. So this is the window of a good or bad health in your senior citizen year. Anybody who has passed this in a very beautiful way, they do not mostly have disease except the aging, which is not a disease. So, what was the question about perimenopausal?
Diet for women during perimenopause.
I would not ask you to have a lot of grains. Reduce grains. They are very inflammatory. If your body is having storage of fat and your body is low in metabolism, definitely reduce grains. Have carbs from sweet potato, beet, yams family, which is easily digestible. I would not have any processed food at all. No box, no processed food, no easy way in life. And be really active, because as soon as you are inactive and eating only healthy, still you will, whatever weight you lose is going to be muscles and bones, because your body doesn't know where to throw it out from. So you basically everybody's metabolism dips, and that is the time you have to be very careful. So I would increase the intake. So I increase my intake. I'm going to be 50. I have increased my intake since last 2 years of protein. I'm not a believer of eating high protein diet, because I have seen what havoc it has created in athletes, what havoc keto has done, what carnivore diet has done, and what paleo has done. Do not follow celebrity diets, because they only speak certain words which are very catchy, and when we talk about balanced meal, then becomes very boring. So if I have something very stimulating, everybody will be attracted to that. So I don't believe in that. So grain less for sure.
Okay.
A lot of supplements.
So, if you want to develop your estrogen, first of all, at perimenopause, do we need to give estrogen supplements or progesterone supplements?
So hormone replacement therapy is good, but the doctors decide and the symptoms of the women decide. If you have always lived very well in your after between 25 to 45, you have lived a very beautiful, highly active lifestyle. You've taken care of mental health and taken care of nourishment, and not gone with the fads, then your body may not need HRT. But if somebody has really high symptoms of breaking down of bones, osteoporosis, or mental health symptoms, HRT does work. Nowadays, bioidentical hormones are also there, but functional medicine doctors and all, and I have few doctors I work with, they have said because bioidentical hormones are exactly what your hormones, then they start talking to the pituitary gland and thyroid gland and many other glands in the body, whereas synthetic hormones may not mix with all of these. So a doctor is a better person to ask whether you need HRT or not.
So HRT is all synthetic hormones?
They are synthetic hormones. They are made in the labs.
Okay.
Bioidentical will tell you it is bioidentical.
So what are the, like now you're a naturopathy, and so what natural hormone replacement food would you suggest?
I still say holistic, wholesome diet and nutrition. So if I'm going off, I'm not actually going off track. There was a research where a lot of farmers wanted to turn into again old-fashioned organic farming, and they kept on growing all these organic. They started sowing these these seeds, and they taking care of their farms in the old-fashioned way. And some or the other kind of weeds will take over all these farms. And whenever they try to cut the weeds, next time after a month, they will see that the weeds have grown even bigger and bigger, and it just takes a toll over whatever hard work they did. They kept on doing this for like every season, 2 to 3 years. They kept on doing this. After a while, the scientist who was on top of these people, they all decided leave the farms as they are and let's see what happens. After 1 year, when they went to see the farm, all these acres and acres were all filled with weed, and like you have never seen those weeds. It was like trees. After 1 year, they went. So it took 3 years for all of these things to happen. All this weed dried out, After few months, they went, everything was pure soil. When they checked this soil, it had a full profile of all the minerals and full profile of all the beneficial microbes. So when you just nourish your body the way it is going to be nourished, your body will do its job. If you need help, then there are other, I believe in Ayurveda and naturopathy, and there are good doctors who are more educated than I am. So find those doctors and see if some enzymes will help to break down all these foods and make your body more healthy, or if you can have other herbal supplements and all. But I feel find the right person. That
Our
would
Pets has a question for you. Is it advisable to take milk and fruits together, like having a milkshake in the morning? Also, what's the difference between curd and yogurt? Isn't curd a better alternative for probiotics, given that yogurt is usually bought from the outside and might have preservatives?
Yes. So Greek yogurt is a very good quality protein. So when I'm now talking about children, if we are talking about children, we can give them with a pinch of salt and Greek yogurt. I'm talking about it is good quality, maybe 10 to 15 grams of protein. Our curd, depending on which cow or which cattle you are having from, it the protein varies and the amino acid profile also varies. What else did you ask?
Is it advisable to take milk and fruits together?
Milk and fruits will never go together.
Okay.
Fruit salad is a completely no. I don't know whether whole India is having the fruit salad. The fruit salad which Gujarati people have is boil all the milk, add custard, and have once in a blue moon you can have it if you like it. But I would not add any milk product with any vegetable or any fruit.
Children, is it better to give milk twice a day or thrice a day? Is it right to give them milk 5 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the night? Is it advisable?
Nighttime milk is a complete no after 1 to 2 years of age. It causes really bad gum disease, and these diseases from the microbes in between the teeth will go inside the digestive system, and then it does disturb. So nighttime milk is a no for everybody. Morning milk, yes. Heat the milk a bit. Afternoon, maybe evening as a snack, milk is good for them. Add nuts and maybe peanut butter if you have homemade peanut butter or almond butter, and add chia seed. That is more holistic way of nourishing the kid.
Also, what's the difference between curd and yogurt? Isn't curd a better alternative for
Curd is definitely a better alternative, but because, as I said, that when we have protein powders and we get very easily available collagen and protein, and it breaks down easily when we source from the right place, like isolated proteins. Same way, yogurt may have more protein content compared to maybe 10 grams, one katori of the yogurt and one katori of curd. Yogurt will definitely have more protein.
What's the difference between curd and yogurt?
I have been trying to find it. I don't think there is a big difference, but yogurt does have more fat also. So fat and protein content is more. We all eat curd.
What are the different glands in the body and how do they function? Food, how does it impact?
Okay, lot many glands are there. But start if we are talking about pituitary gland, pineal gland, your thyroid gland, your adrenal glands, and your gonads are the major glands. During menopause, adrenal glands takes over a lot in the body. Adrenal glands release stress hormones, glucocorticoids, cortisol, and all. So whenever somebody is not eating enough food, but they have a lot of stress, their body needs all this energy to balance stresses. So glucocorticoids are secreted, and that energy is given to the cell. So if this person is not eating healthy, this person will, because of glucocorticoid, will have metabolic disorder like diabetes and polycystic ovaries and insulin resistance. So one is this, and all of these glands talk to each other. There are mother hormones from the pituitary gland in the brain, which is talking to the adrenal glands, which is talking to the thyroid, it is talking to the insulin, your hormones, and it is talking to the reproductive system. So it is not related to that. Do you want more information on the glands? And let me know what way I can help you in, like thyroid, if you want to know more about what gland.
What is a lymphatic gland? I mean, what are the, how, one thing very beautiful that you told is all the glands are talking to each other. So can you give us a little understanding about what are these glands? How is it impacting our daily life? What kind of food do we give? What do we talk with it? How do we take care of them? They help.
So all the glands work on the hormones. All the hormones do need protein and full balanced meal, nourished meal. Also, hormones change because of our emotions. So I do count meditation as a very important part of everyday, and specifically women after 40. We all need meditation, because if you want to balance your hormones, you need it. Initially, serotonin and dopamine were supposed to be known as secretions and hormones coming from neurotransmitters in the brain. It has been researched that 70% of these neurotransmitters are in the gut. When they checked how big the nervous system is, people thought that it is just the brain and the spinal cord. The heart has a bigger electrical nervous system, and the gut has even bigger. So when we are talking about hormones, these hormones are connected with our emotions and our food. Some viral issues which are hiding in our body, like Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus, these are the virus which looks like a thyroid gland. So majorly Epstein-Barr virus. Our body feels that the thyroid gland is an Epstein-Barr virus. Your body feels that. This is Epstein-Barr virus, this is thyroid gland. They look like each other. Your immune system starts attacking thyroid gland rather than Epstein-Barr virus. So sometimes gut-related thyroid is more prevalent in women compared to like real problem of lack of pituitary and thyroid talking to each other. That is what we have seen in women around menopause. So we check anti-TPO and ATG whether they have Epstein-Barr virus. So we have Epstein-Barr virus test. If we fix these markers, the thyroid gland starts working. So if I'm talking about gland, it is a very deep thing, and I will be giving very less information if I'm talking about gland, but they all talk to each other. Take care of all your hormones majorly through mental balance. So talking about estrogen, because we were talking about glands also, what happens during menopause or non-menopausal, you all must be having daughters who have high periods, people who are in their 30s and 40s who are not able to lose weight, and they have periods irregularity and having heavy periods like clots. This is high estrogen symptoms, estrogen dominant periods. When there is high estrogen, it is flowing in the blood. Liver breaks down this fat soluble estrogen into water soluble estrogen. It throws it out through poop. So excess of estrogen is thrown in the poop. If people with any hormone irregularities have gut issues in phase 1 and phase 2 digestion, and they're constipated, all these excess neurotransmitters, excess things which we don't need in our body, they are reabsorbed, and it will bulk up and it will create more problems, and then it will create fibroids. So that is why each and every gland will take a lot of time, but our gut is the major thing which we all should take care in all the age, and mental health and simple diet which we are all eating since ever. That is my outlook to the world.
Okay. This question is from Pooja. What kind of sprouts can we have?
Anything which you soak and grow is called sprouts. So if you have good quality wheat which is non-GMO, you can soak them in water 2-3 times. You throw this water out and then let them sprout. It's still a sprout. So anything which is growing is a sprout. Not only what we are used to, like chana, moong, and urad. Everything can sprout.
Okay. And what kind of diet, this is from Artika Vats, what kind of diet or exercise would you suggest for people going on their late 60s, giving they're at risk for osteoporosis and dementia?
Weights.
Wait.
So osteoporosis, I did one research in osteoporosis while I was in Canada. And I was amazed to learn that the major bone building year are around 30. Between 50, our puberty, till 30. After that, it is the maintenance of what we have done. If you have not taken care of, and today's generation going for zero figure and how they are going to look, they are breaking down their bones. You cannot emphasize enough, but because the fat diets are so many celebrities are giving so much information about what they are doing, the holistic way of life is diluted. Fat, uh, I missed your question for osteoporosis.
Yeah.
Weight lifting is very important in all stages for women. Initially, we were squatting and lifting heavy things in our life. Men always for testosterone, they will hardly have osteoporosis until 70. Women will have, one thing is we have to be not afraid is osteoporosis is a part and parcel of a woman's life, not to the point of breaking down bone. As soon as you are turning menopausal, people will have some lack of calcium in the bones. But it should be not such that the breaking down of the bones is so tenfold and making of the bones is not even, you're not even nourished. So weight training does work wonders. Yoga does not do that job. You have to lift weights. I love yoga, but yoga does not do that job. Food wise, as I said, high protein, high carb.
Vishnupriya Mandal has a question. Does flax seeds boost collagen?
Flaxseed does help in boosting collagen.
Does biotin supplement help in hair growth?
If you have a lot of other issues like iron, alone biotin is not working. We have seen people taking biotin 1000 and it has not worked. There is other like collagen. If you're losing collagen, if you're not having enough protein, different types of collagen is there. If you're not having comprehensive full profile food, then only taking biotin will not help. You have to nourish your scalp, you have to nourish your hair. After you grow your hair, you have to nourish the hair also, taking care of it does not break down. And you add a supplement. The word is a supplement, it is just a supplement, it is not whole and soul. But do take biotin, yes.
What is biotin?
Biotin is a type of protein which will help in breaking, it will make your hair, it helps in a lot of other functions, but hair growth is the main thing.
This question is from Avdesh Bharadwaj. Why is child malnutrition so persistent and stubborn in India?
Child malnutrition, over calorie, as you said, you had answered that question quite well. We have overconsumption of calories, and definitely nutrition and nourishment. Now we talk about certain class of people. Some people have started being aware and they have low caloric but high nourishing diet. Some people, I think 20-25% of population is becoming more aware of it. Whereas when we talk about people who are hardworking and they have more of blue collar job, they do not have time to cook. They have lost the old ways of cooking. They are more going into processed food. It's very easy to cook, like buy a Lay's packet and eat chips, then eat cooking a potato. And it is cheaper also. So I think making the basic food more expensive has created diseases, and all the industries have taken over. So all these, I am still surprised. I always say that why can't Amitabh Bachchan come in telling that eat 2 eggs or have a sweet potato, if I want to have Amitabh Bachchan telling all of these things, I will have to, he will charge a bomb. Whereas all these gutka people, people with Lays and whichever company, Parle-G, how much they are earning from 2 rupee biscuit or a 5 rupee packet of chips. We will all have to think, but I don't know how to take care of child malnutrition in certain class of people. I don't know, because you can't talk to them. They will always find easy way out to feed their
Consumption
stomach.
driven.
It's more of satiety index also, like how full you feel. It is a very difficult way to, it's not my thing.
So when Vishwa was doing Annadanam, there are certain slums where the children get together, do some activities. So we give food and all. So we wanted to give a nutritious kit to them, but we were not clear what kind of foods should be packed in that package. How much of sesame, how much of peanuts. We didn't know the diet, but if you do know, please share so that we can distribute in schools a nutrition diet
It's
package.
in Hyderabad, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Whatever is staple. Like I feel, so initially when rice was considered a devil in all these diabetic people, we are after diabetes since 2012, polycystic ovaries and diabetes. And now with the excess of continuous glucose monitoring, we are seeing only 20% people who have gone to the extreme chronic stage of diabetes, they have spikes of sugar because of rice. Most of them have spikes of sugar with rest of the grains except rice.
Okay.
So I feel South Indian diet is amazing. It's full amino acid profile, because if you have avial and the other combination of coconut milk and vegetables and whatever local vegetables, it's not that you have to have broccoli and Brussels sprouts. You can have regular grown vegetables in your backyard, as you said. It will nourish them, and we will have to keep feeding them, or whoever goes to all these sanstha, like we have SSG hospital, there are blind girls school and all. If we feed them high nourishing diet, which where we link the happiness with a fried samosa or a pizza, then that happiness will always be linked with this kind of food. Nourishing is really heartwarming food, which you, if you mix all of these and they are eating with peace, they will have peace in their mental health also. I feel mentally also they'll be peaceful.
No, I
You
think
can write it down.
I think a lot of times we should eat foods from where we are from. Like I'm a Mangalorean, and I really can't do without coconut milk and a lot of coconut-based diet. I become uncomfortable after a certain point. Um, my sister's daughter is living in Germany. She's not had a lot of South Indian food throughout her life, and she has n number of allergies to nuts, to a lot of different things. So I think as we skip food from our own place, we start developing different sorts of allergies and stuff like that. It's like we are indigenous beings of a particular place, avoiding indigenous food of that place. So we are bringing in food from USA, from Europe to Gujarat, having more processed, more preservated food, and it just messes you up more, I believe.
Yeah, I think your gut has to adjust. Your enzymes will have to adjust to all of these food. And if you're talking about that, will be digestive issues like bloating and constipation or irritable bowel. If somebody starts having allergies, that means their gut already had issue and there was a leaky gut, and then this thing what you ate, the body could not break down and it allowed unwanted thing to pass through the barrier. So if you're talking about allergies, that will be different. But local food, as you said, it's definitely it's important.
Yeah, I think it's because our parents also kept on eating that, our grandparents also kept on eating that. So it's already there in our system somehow. Like we are sort of pre-embedded to have that kind of food to grow and sustain. Uh, if we deflect from that, then it takes a while to deflect from that, and the next generation can probably adapt better, is what I feel like. it takes a while to adapt to a different place and to get accustomed to the food habits of that place and process the grains and pulses from that place. Um, yes, that's about it.
Yeah. There is another question from Vishnupriya Mandal. Yes, what are the natural food boosting estrogens? Does chickpea help? HRT may have adverse effect like cervical cancer at a later stage. Is this true?
As I said, I would not ask everybody to go for HRT, but I've seen 2 to 3 of my patients who went for HRT who were having severe depression, to the point that they were so deep into depression. And when they started taking HRT, they did come out very healthy. So, and then it is then weaned off. So I would not comment on the HRT part. You have to talk to your doctor if you have HRT issues. If you think you need HRT. And the first question she asked was,
what are the natural food boosting estrogens? Does chickpea?
Mostly yams, chickpeas. No, as I said, our body will make what it has to make. And why you want to have high estrogen? Let body. It is a natural process. Just as puberty is a natural process. We are all afraid this, but I don't know what people are doing by making us victim of nature. Pregnancy is a part of our physiology. Menopause is a part of our physiology. We should not be afraid of all of these things. That okay, I'm turning 50. What you take care of, because today's generation we need supplements and right food and right exercises, but not having fear. Food fear phenomena started from 1980 and 1990, and fear of health since last 10 years. Fear of aging. I have people with fear of aging. Why are we having fear of aging? We are all going to age, and depending on how you have taken care of yourself, different way we will all age. So I would not have estrogen boosting food, but yams have been told as estrogen boosting food. If you have only estrogen in your system and don't have progesterone, then you will have more of blood clots and more heavy periods. Whether that yam is going to turn into estrogen, you don't know that also. So it's a controversial question.
Last question from Atika Vats. In an autoimmune condition like HLA-B27, where a person can get reactive arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, and uveitis, my pronunciation may be wrong, what kind of diet or exercise can one follow as a protective measure?
Low protein diet. We have these kind of patients who have inflammatory proteins in their bloodstream, and depending on their genetics, like HLA-B27, when it is positive, they may be having somebody in their family who has it. But if it is in a female, it will not create a really bad response as it would be in a male, because in male it is more male dominating disease, ankylosing spondylitis, and RA is more female dominating thing. So if somebody is RA, I would reduce their amount of protein. So no protein shakes for sure. Lots and lots of fruits, very minimal grains, cooked vegetables, and herbs and supplements which change the inflammatory response in the body. So what we do here is, whenever I have these kind of patients where I do not, Trisha, and I'm not a naturopath doctor, to let you know. And I'm only certified in food and nutrition. My major strength is my handwork, and I know about food, and we work in diabetes specifically and fatty liver through metabolic disease, what I've learned. So some questions maybe not be answered well, but what I do is we have a functional medicine practitioner from South India. They use naturopathy, homeopathy, and Ayurveda, the combination of all of these, and they reduce inflammatory proteins in people like ankylosing spondylitis and rheumatism patients. Sometimes we have seen some people having increase of histamine, and these histamine can cause psoriasis or eczema and increase blood pressure. So we have had doctors who were working out at our place having severe high blood pressure, severe allergic response, where when we consulted to this doctor, he found out that there was only histamine increase which caused constriction of blood vessels and increase the blood pressure, blood arterioles, and increase the blood pressure. So we just worked on histamine, this inflammation, and then it took over his allergies, his eczema, and even his high blood pressure. He is hale and hearty now. He does not have to take any medicine. So when we talk about any inflammation in the blood, we consult this doctor. He would be a good candidate to come here, but he works in depth like anything. So we have certain kind of receptors on our cell. There are certain baroreceptors. This is blood pressure receptors. There are hormones receptors. All these things are active in all of these people. In some people, if these virus activates, then it allows a lot of things to go in the cell and then cause inflammatory response or immunosuppression. So for ankylosing spondylitis, what people do is, what allopathy does is, it reduces the they give immunosuppressant. Methotrexate and HCQS are the main suppressant they are given. These people keep on checking the patient's kidney and liver function for a very long period of time. After 5 to 10 years, if the kidney and liver have given up, then the doctors ask them to stop taking these medications. Ki ab ho gaya. Now you can't take it anymore. Now what will this person do who has lost their age of healing, and now they don't know, you have taken the walker suddenly? So that's how, for these kind of patients, we started consulting the other doctor. So I may not be able to answer this question also, but low protein for sure. Low protein.
Okay. Oils, what kind of oils do you suggest? Of late, people are saying don't take vegetable oil, don't take sunflower oil. What is your advice?
Most oils are inflammatory. A2 cow ghee, cold pressed coconut oil, and if you find a really good quality extra virgin olive oil, that are the only things which are anti-inflammatory.
What about sesame, homemade sesame oil?
Sesame oil, when you cook, it is it has very low burning point. It turns rancid right away. Even if you keep sesame for 3 months, you will smell it. Any oil which is kept for a long period, it will turn rancid. Plus all these oils what we are eating, they are all already cooked. They are processed through the plant. And I don't think so they are using wooden things to process all these. So they are already processed. I would not eat oil.
No, but if you're making oil at home.
Oil at home we can't make. Even that coconut oil thing which is there, if you keep on, so because coconut oil is a very high burning point, that is why we get very good quality triglycerides from coconut oil. That is why coconut oil is not inflammatory. Otherwise, I have people at my place who are using these small grinders, and the oil which is coming out, it is hot. So when the metal rubs on metal and we are churning, it's going to break already the structure. So that is going to be rancid. It is going to be inflammatory.
So how do you suggest the oil to be made then?
Cold pressed, kachi ghani, old fashioned wooden ghani.
Ma'am, I have a question. What kind of red flags should we look out for when you're sort of going to get a protein powder or anything like that? What maybe ingredients that you should look out for, or that ये नहीं होना चाहिए, ये नहीं खाना चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ?
मैंने तो ये ensure में भी DiaSure था, जो diabetic. I had a doctor who had come with they said that they are taking DiaSure. First 2-3 ingredients were all sugar. Different names of sugar was there. High fructose corn syrup is a very big red flag for anything. It is added in children. It is added definitely in ketchups and all. It is added in children's protein powder. So if your child is getting growth hormones and hormone mimicking chemicals from all these protein powder, and they are growing in height and weight also. It's all hormonal play. I would not, first thing I would see is colors and stabilizers. And if I have to read lot in the ingredient section, it is a complete no. Maybe 3 to 5. Like Cosmics has digestive enzymes and few other things. They add monk fruit as a sweetener in some. And there are only 2 other things like rice protein, isolated rice protein, and isolated pea protein. I take that as it is, like this functional medicine doctor had suggested as it is. I did not know about this brand. I checked the ingredients. They have A2 cow milk protein also isolated. And when I saw there was only one single ingredient, isolated pea protein or isolated rice protein. No other ingredient, no stabilizer, no flavoring, no sweetener. This is what I don't think so about protein powder. For anything you are eating, just check that.
Thank you so much.
Grains, what kind of grains do you suggest or should be eliminated or should be avoided?
Wheat completely. Wheat is causing lot of issues, and as soon as I stop wheat in this fatty liver people, I have kids who have 13 and 14 and having non-alcoholic fatty liver. As soon as we stop wheat and jowar, they have change in their body. I would suggest eating rice. You can eat rice roti also, amaranth flour, sorghum, and some millets I don't know. And there are beautiful millets in South India. I've heard different types of rice also from Pune and of course South India. I am not aware of, but there are certain rice which are not polished and they are not processed. They take a lot of time to cook. So you have to be smart when you're using these kind of rice. So you have to maybe throw away the water a few times, and then within half an hour to 1 hour it should be cooked. So soak it for 8 hours.
Soak rice for 8 hours?
The rice which are unprocessed. Black rice, bamboo rice, brown rice. They have phytic acid layer. So phytic acid is nature has gifted phytic acid to most of the nuts and seeds and grains so that the microbes don't attack on it. If we eat nuts just like that, we are eating phytic acid, and our body has hard time to digest this protein or digest and have it as omega-3 or amino acids. You soak these things and then have it, and definitely throw this water.
This water, can it be thrown in the vegetable garden or should we just drain it?
Vegetable garden, maybe, I don't know.
So you spoke about grains, you spoke about oil, you spoke about spirulina. What about nuts and seeds?
Except flaxseed, all nuts can be, except flaxseed. So all seeds have to be soaked 2 to 3 hours. Except walnut and pistachio, most of them to be soaked for 6 to 8 hours. Almond has very high amount of phytic acid. It needs to be broken down. It needs the maximum amount of time to be soaked.
Soak for 8 hours.
Yeah, 6 to 8 hours.
And you can soak for more. You can leave it in the evening and at 8 o'clock and take it.
You have to plan tomorrow's day tonight.
Yeah. Okay. And what about non-veg? People are saying don't have prawns. What is your thought on this?
Source of non-veg, if it is great, it is not hybrid and it is not given antibiotics, because the lakes and people who own the fish farming and all, they do add certain things in the water. I know that. And if it is not hybrid, then you're fine eating non-veg, but just have with a big bowl of veggies. Then you will be able to digest this non-veg faster and well.
Okay. Fruits. Is there any particular fruits you suggest we should have or we shouldn't have?
Jackfruit is a superfood. Can be eaten raw, can be eaten cooked. properly done as a fruit. All citrus fruit have citrus fruit. People are afraid of citrus fruits. Citrus fruit, just like photosynthesis, for photosynthesis, we need sunlight. For collagen synthesis in our body, we need citrus fruit, vitamin C. All fruits are good.
This is from Vishnu Priya Mandal. How should we start our morning food for gut?
For gut, if you have gut issues, you can have soft water, fennel seeds, 1 tablespoon fennel seed in maybe 500 ml of water. If you have acidity, you can add black raisins and then have first thing in the morning. If you have issues with fat loss, then you can have ajwain water and chia seed, or you can have lemon. That is the best way to start. And also people are over drinking water. Over drinking water actually reduces electrolytes in our system, so people will have more cramps and their muscle will not recover faster. If you are over drinking water, you need to add black salt or lemon or something in the water.
2 to 3 liters of water is okay for a day?
2 liters of water is enough. 2 liters, 10 to 12 glasses of water, that too not along any time when you are having meals. Have coconut water, have fruits which have water. That will have more electrolytes and more minerals in the system, and they are more bioavailable. Ultimately, water will have to go inside the cell and then hydrate you.
So when you say don't have water along with meals, you mean before, after, or while?
Before, after, and while.
Okay, got it.
So half an hour before, 1 hour after. While maybe if your food is dry, maybe you can have it, but I suggest not to have dry food. So like you can have, if you're having only, for example, if you're having only poha or only upma, which is less vegetables and hydration, have soup or cold soup or anything you like, then you will have hydration and you can easily digest whatever dry thing you ate.
Okay. Last, this is from Atika Vats. How is ragi as a cereal compared to rice or wheat?
It's a millet, so it's good. Some people do have digestive issues with all these millets. So if you are eating 2 ragi rotis and you are feeling very full, I would suggest 1 ragi roti maybe twice in a week. Amaranth flour, I feel, is wonder. It is a superfood. And mix all these millets. One day you eat ragi, one day you eat bajra, one day you eat something singada lot, mixing with something else. So mixture, variety, our body, our microbes, the more you eat variety, your microbes flourish. You don't want single type of microbe in your system.
Done. Thank you so much. I've asked all the questions. Thank you for your patience.
Okay.
And thanks to all the participants for asking some good questions. Thank you to Trishant, the entire Vishwa team. Trishant, take
Ma'am, I'll send you a breakout link shortly on your screen. Kindly stay online. Just a moment.
Somebody had asked a question about collagen supplements from Oziva helps in healthy skin and boost hair growth. Should I answer that?
Yes, please.
Yeah, yes, please.
Check the content of Oziva. For supplements, if we are talking about supplements, so I'm sorry, I just mixed up biotin with protein. So if we are talking about neurobiome fort, it has all the B complex vitamins. Biotin is one of them. If you mix B12 alone along with neurobiome fort, which is a total of all the Bs, that will give you proper amount of whatever nutrient needed. So if you want healthy skin and hair growth, then collagen and biotin combination is needed. And you see that the whatever thing you are using has good GMP practice, good medical practice. It is non-GMO, it is lactose free, so vegan, and maybe soy free. Then only you buy these supplements. Check before, do a lot of research, spend 2-3 hours in this whatever company you are doing, you want to have, and then you will find a company and then stick to that company. Oziva is not one of them.
Thank you, ma'am. I'd like to thank all the participants here, and I'm posting a link of Physio to Fitness website. You can check out more details for the website. You can go to Instagram and check out page of Physio to Fitness. Also check Vishwa Talks so that you get further updates about our upcoming talks and more details. I request Drashti ma'am and Shivani ma'am to join the breakout room.